Yo guys, Matthew here. So in this video, I'm gonna be ranking payment processors. So obviously from the S tier, it's gonna be the best ones, if there is even any in the S tier. And then as it goes to D tier, it's worse and worse. So let's just get straight into it. So PayPal is an interesting one. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, if you are doing payments, you don't fucking want to use PayPal, especially if you are doing MRR, because they are gonna fuck you, okay? This is what I tell you, okay? Like from my personal experience, they genuinely don't give a fuck about their clients. Okay, there is some ways how you can be safe on PayPal, okay, but not with MRR and especially not with high scale, okay? I strictly don't recommend using PayPal for anyone that's scaling, okay? You can use it for fucking organic dropshipping or whatever, okay? But don't use it for scaling payments. Like the higher volume you do, the higher risk that you are gonna get fucked. Like for me, what happened when I started dropshipping, I started using PayPal and 50% of my revenue went there. And what happened is that like at the start, obviously I didn't have a company, and this PayPal I created when I was fucking like 14 years old or whatever, and I put there like a different name than my name. So then when I wanted to use it for ecom, I changed the name because you have an option to change the name there. And then they asked me for a verification and they told me that my name is not matching the ID. So I was like, what the fuck, guys? I changed it. I made it when I was 14 years old. I was calling there like 20 times and they basically blocked all of my money. They didn't give a fuck. Of course, okay, it's my fault that I was fucking 14 years old, dumbass, that put there some girl name, whatever. But now, like, what? Now I can't use PayPal or what? It doesn't make any fucking sense. So whatever. PayPal, I'm using it sometimes, okay? I'm running few organic stores where I have PayPal, but don't use personal PayPal 100% for fucking any payments. If you are starting out, if you're doing low volume, like digital products or organic or whatever, I understand if you use it in Europe, but in the US, you fucking don't need PayPal. Like it's a fucking $1 trillion company that's not gonna care about you. So like, why the fuck would you trust someone like that who's just gonna fucking steal your money? And yeah, it's total fucking bullshit. So we go straight into C tier. As the next one, we have IDL payments. So what even is IDL payments? Maybe some of you guys don't even know, but it's basically a Netherlands payment processor that you need to sell in Netherlands, okay? If you don't have this, don't even try to sell in Netherlands. It's something that you really need, but it's pretty hard to get it on your own. So you need to get it with a fintech, like for example, Stripe, Shopify payments, they have IDL. If you qualify, they are pretty strict. This is the only downside, that they're pretty strict. Like for example, if you have above 1% chargeback rate or whatever, etc., they are not gonna accept anything. That's pretty standard, but they also need some volume, etc. But anyway, I used it with Stripe and it's a must for Netherlands. So I don't have anything exact to say about IDL alone because I have used it only with the fintech, but it's necessary to go to Netherlands, and Netherlands is a great market for e-commerce. So it goes straight into the A tier. Ocean payment. So this one is an interesting one, okay? I have a personal experience that was basically terrible. They are fucking slow as fuck. I literally made a company just to acquire this payment processor. And then I figure out that they don't support fucking post-purchase upsells. They don't support MRR. They don't support anything. And you can just do basically direct sell without nothing. I wasted 2 months of my life to basically acquire this payment processor, and I didn't get shit out of it. This video is pretty much turning into blaming payment processors. But yeah, this is a Chinese processor that basically is insanely strict. You can't even onboard a normal store, bro. You have to build all of these little things that is 1,000,000% compliant. What they mean by compliant is just crazy if you compare it with Stripe, for example. Like how you can start on there. Honestly, it's not even worth to try to get it because it takes too long time and it's just shit, okay? Maybe the processing is good, okay? If you just sell basically directly, just direct purchase, maybe that's good, okay? So I don't want to just say total shit about them, but like the process to get it is just terrible. C tier, Klarna. So this one, if you basically want to onboard there yourself without, again, using fintech like Stripe, it's the same as for IDL. It's very strict. There's a lot of rules that you have to follow. So if you're doing classic dropshipping and you don't have a brand, you're probably not gonna be able to get it, at least by my knowledge, because they're extremely strict. But anyway, if you can use it with Stripe, etc., it's great for especially high-ticket products. A tier, Easy Pay Direct. Okay, so these guys are basically a tier 3 payment processor. And what does that mean is that they are basically a high-risk processor. So this is very good for dropshipping, especially if you are selling supplements, for example, doing MRR, etc., because they accept higher chargeback rates than average. Also, I heard pretty good stuff that they are not so strict, like with holdings, for example. They give you good support. But unfortunately, I have not had the chance to use it myself because I am not a US citizen. They only accept US citizens. It doesn't matter if you have a company, it doesn't matter. They only accept US citizen. Also, the downside of this processor is that it's not global. You have to basically mainly sell in the US, which is not a problem at all, right? Like the best market is the US. But if you are looking for a global processor, this is not the best option. Also, since this is basically tier 3 and high risk, the approval rate is way less than, for example, tier 1 processor. Tier 1 is basically best approval rate, like Stripe. B tier, Mollie. Next one we have here, Mollie. So I have a very weird experience with Mollie, okay? I pretty much tried to onboard with them, okay? Because they accept dropshipping in Europe, okay? They are literally saying that we accept dropshipping, which is good. So I tried to onboard with them. They onboarded me after 1 month or whatever. I had it for 3 days and I didn't use it, okay? I didn't even use it, but I had it for 3 days and then they banned me and don't say anything. So I don't know what is this. I don't know why. It doesn't make any fucking sense. They didn't say anything. I didn't do any sale. So I don't have a direct experience using it, but just the experience of the service itself was terrible. So would I want to work with them after this? I don't know. I don't know the quality, right? I don't know anyone who work with them, but this just turns me off. C tier. Then we have here our favorite Stripe. So Stripe is an interesting one. It's good for the start, okay, I'm not gonna lie. It's good for the start, probably the only payment processor that you can literally start with literally nothing. Also, Shopify payment is the same, but not for every country. Because, for example, my country, Slovakia, doesn't even have a Shopify payments. So I had to use Stripe at the start. So obviously, I'm very grateful for Stripe. And I love them for me being able to even start this business. But on the other hand, they pretty much ruined my first big business, pretty much totally fucked it. So now I can't choose into which tier should I put them, right? Because guys, I tell you, if you want to get holds, okay, you can scale on Stripe. If you want to lose money, you can scale on Stripe. If you want to get 0 customer support, scale on Stripe. If you want to get fucked, basically pretty much scale on Stripe. There's literally hundreds of people every month getting multiple 5-6 figures on holds because they are profiting out of holding this money. They hold you the money, they print while they hold you the money with stocks, etc. And then they give you the money, or maybe they will not even give you the money. So it's very interesting how these guys do business. I know people, okay, that have 500k holds, 100k holds. I currently have some friends that have multiple 5-figure holds on Stripe. And me alone, I had there stuck 6 figures basically for 3 months, which basically absolutely fucked my cash flow and fucked my business. And I also lost 140k in rejected payments. Because how it works on Stripe is that they will give you a fraud score. A fraud score at the start is 75. They will basically reject all of the cards with higher fraud score than 75. And as you build trust with them and make more money with them, they will increase it and increase it. At least they should, right? But for me, I basically came on Stripe and I literally made 100k the first month. So obviously it's gonna be bad. But on Stripe, you should use Stripe only for low volume, really low volume. I don't recommend going above 30k month the first month. This is the safe barrier, 25 to 30k the first month, okay? Then they literally want you to scale very slowly. They don't want to see the first month 25k, then 35k, then 45k, etc. It's very slow business. This is not how we do fucking dropshipping. We fucking scale to 7 figures the first fucking month. You get me? So obviously not good for scaling dropshipping business. So for us, it goes to D tier, Airwallex. So Airwallex is basically like a tier 2 processor, little bit more high risk than like Shopify payments, Stripe, etc. It's a bit better in that part. But again, they don't accept everyone, okay? Honestly, I don't fully understand how the fuck does the application process work with them. I applied, I got rejected without anything pretty much. And then their rep called me and asked me oh, why didn't you finish the application? But I got rejected. So I was like, what are you even saying? I got rejected. He was like, no, you didn't get rejected. So I was like, okay, how can I apply again? Whatever. How can I get it? And he was like, oh, let's go on a Zoom call. So I was like, what? Okay, this guy's trying to sell me to use the processor. So I was like, okay, give me the processor. I will take it. So I went on the Zoom call with him. This guy was literally selling me on that processor for 1 hour. Just straight up showing me all the functions, showing me why it's so good. And then they rejected me again. What the fuck? But anyway, if you manage to get it, it's pretty good. For example, the Airwallex bank has the lowest fees, lowest conversion fees out of all of the banks I have ever seen. Then the payment processor is pretty good. Like the first month, you can pretty much safely go to 150k a month. And then you can scale. That's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's not like Stripe 25k. What the fuck is 25k in e-com? Nothing. That looks pretty good. I know someone doing basically just on the Airwallex for 100k a day. That's pretty much proving that the processor is fine. So I would really like to experience using it in the future, because honestly it looks good. Also the bank, and from what I hear, pretty good. So A tier. Payoneer. So I have not experienced working with Payoneer directly for ecom, but I have some friends that used it. It was pretty nice, especially if you have a rep directly there. It becomes pretty good experience. So I honestly use it only for paying my employees and the fees, and the bank that you can basically open bank account with any payment information to any country. That's pretty good. I like that. Anyways, goes to B tier. The next one we have here, Payart with NMI. Okay, so this is a combination that I have used for some time, and why there is two things. So if you don't understand how does this work, is basically NMI is just the payment gateway that needs a mid. Okay, so I have used Payart mid to connect it to gateway NMI, and basically connected that to my Shopify store. So the experience was all right. Honestly, what I didn't like, that the fees were not clear. They were basically pulling money out of my bank account. Okay, I signed like a contract with them to understand the fees, but like I didn't fully understand sometimes when they took money from my bank account, like what's going on. But anyway, they were not like blocking my money or anything. I don't use them anymore, but I might probably use them in the future again. It's a tier 3 processor, so the accept rate is again lower. It's 75%, the same way as EasyPay Direct. Yeah, it can be pretty good for subs. So B tier. Adyen. So Adyen is a payment gateway and also payments processor, but it's basically like for the low risk processors. It's not like for Payart that is basically tier 3 high risk. You get me, guys? So also they don't want you to go over 0.9% chargeback rate. That's what they told me 1 year ago when I spoke with them. So now it can be even way less. Anyway, they accept businesses that are making over 10 million a year. So last year I couldn't get onboarded with them, but overall, to me, they look very good. I know that some very big brands use it, and for that reason, pretty much it's going to the A tier. WHOP and the Lasso checkout. So I have some experience with them. I have used them basically 5 months ago. Now I'm working with them for something also, and honestly I really like their team and the people, the type of people they are. Like they're basically entrepreneurs, and it's not like working with these big corporates, like these big corporate payments processors like Stripe, PayPal, etc. You know, it's not like that. They are friendly. You are with them in a group chat. I like that. On the other side, they are new in e-com and they can only privately onboard you. You can't just basically, from my knowledge at least, just get onboarded. So I have a decent experience with them. Now they just launched MRR, so I'm excited for that. Before they were basically, they didn't have post-purchase upsells available for multi-currency and the MRR like the 5 months ago when I worked with them, because as I said, they are new, but like now they're becoming better and better. We will see where it goes, but for now I put them to the A tier. Shopify payments. So everyone is, as you guys I'm sure realized, if you are in the space, is having issues. Everyone is having issues with Shopify payments now, okay? That basically they became stricter, they become stricter and stricter. And you guys have to think about, you guys have to understand that Shopify payment is Stripe, okay? It's not a payments processor, it's a white labeled fucking Stripe. They just have a contract, they allow them to do more stuff and be more friendlier to the dropshippers, right? But it's basically Stripe, okay? I got blocked on Shopify payments because I scaled too fast. I went from 10k to 600k in matter of fucking 10 days. So they totally fucked me, right? Because they take this as a very high risk if you scale very fast. And why is that? Because imagine you are working with someone, imagine from their side that you're working with someone who scales really, really fast. Now you're not gonna hold his money as a safety, you're gonna give him this money. And that is gonna be really unsafe for you, because okay, what if you give him this money and what if he gets shit ton of chargebacks because you're not familiar with his business, you don't know him. And what if he gets shit ton of chargebacks now? How are they gonna pay it? How is Shopify Payments gonna pay for the chargebacks if you, let's say, make 600k in 10 days going from 10k? And obviously they understand, okay, this business is like, what is this? This is not normal. This is not sustainable. This is fucked. Especially like when they treat you like a new business. If the Shopify payments is not aged, warmed up, doesn't have a history, You can't do this, guys. They're gonna fuck you. There is a high chance that they're gonna fuck you, because from their side they see it, okay, this guy made 600k, the average profit margin is, let's say, 20-30%, whatever, so he keeps what, around 150, and now what if he gets shit ton of chargebacks, because we don't know his business, we are not familiar with it, and he scaled too fast. What if he doesn't have good backend? What if he will get shit ton of chargebacks? Like when I scaled so fast the first time, I got shit ton of chargebacks and returns because I didn't have a good customer service and good backend. They are totally right to think like that. And since they have so many users, again, they're not gonna be able to easily fix these issues if you don't have good insiders, etc. Obviously, it's very good for start, but I would not be scaling a dropshipping MRR brand there. That's the first thing to point out. And I would not be scaling above 300k a month there, because you can lose your business overnight. Like, why would you want to have this risk? I know multiple people that have 6 figures on hold, fucking 30k on hold. Right now my friend has 30k on hold for 120 days, so you can't do shit. One guy I know has 100k on hold. Of course, these holds are normal on any processor because they needed the hold to cover the chargebacks, but they don't need 100k to cover the chargebacks, you understand me? And without any notice. So yeah, it's good for start, but don't scale on it. That's what I'm telling you guys. B tier, Kakao Pay. So I have never used it, I'm gonna be completely honest, but you need this processor to scale in Korea. Okay, so if you wanna sell in Korea, you will need Kakao Pay. And I heard it's pretty alright, actually. I heard it's pretty good. I have a friend who is using it and he's saying good stuff about it. So he's saying good stuff about it. I spoke to him about it. The only thing is that I'm like 90% sure that you need a current company for that. Yeah. A tier. And as you guys can notice, there is nothing in the S tier, right? What am I even doing? Why is nothing in the S tier? Oh shit. Payment orchestration. This is going straight to the fucking S tier. Finally, we have an S tier, right? We have an S tier. Winner of this tier list. I'm gonna put it over everything. So what even is payment orchestration? Okay, guys, so I prepared a quick explanation for you what is payment orchestration. This is like the best thing you can do for scaling. If you can set this up, I'm telling you, you will never fucking lose your business. And this is just the best way how you can protect yourself, okay? So how it works is that you have basically multiple payments processors through which goes the transaction until it actually gets approved, okay? So first one, you should always have something high risk. That's the best thing that you can do. I chose Payoneer for the illustration. So let's say the approval rate is 75%, right? So let's say I will take the customer's card here. So when the customer basically checks out, it firstly hits the Payoneer, okay? If it gets approved, great. It got approved on the high-risk processor, so you're basically not risking anything. If he, I don't know, makes a chargeback, like, it's totally fine. It's gonna be fine. That's the basically best thing that can happen, okay? But then, if it doesn't get approved, it hits the better processor, the tier 2, let's say Airwallex. I just put this for the illustration. So it hits the Airwallex, which has 90% approval. So then the rest that will not get approved will hit Stripe. Okay, I'm not saying Stripe has 100% approval. This is just for illustration purposes. Stripe, as I was saying, it has the fucking fraud score. Bullshit. Obviously, I'm not saying the Stripe is the best for this. This is just the illustration because it's tier 1, but the fraud score makes it shit. So that's the simplest explanation for payment orchestration. But you can also have a multiple pay argmits, for example, which makes it even safer because you can split 33% of customers to each 33, and then basically all of the other ones that are not accepted out of the 33%, out of the 33% are gonna just get to Airwallex, which makes it even safer. The best thing you can actually do is to split your MRR to 2 of them and one-time purchases to 1 of them. Let's say that you can structure it like that. So there's a lot of ways how you can do that. This is just the quick explanation how this works. So this is like a fucking bulletproof setup that is basically gonna make you fucking rich and gonna make your business bulletproof. So this is something that I 100% recommend you, and this is the only thing that I put into S tier for myself. This is just my personal opinion. By the way, my supplier started making like a monthly product sheets that he's gonna be sending to his clients, to his new clients, which are gonna be basically full of the newest, best-selling products. So if you want this product sheet, DM him, product list on WhatsApp, and he's gonna send it over. But anyway, guys, if you want me to go deeper on this payment processor topic, just let me know in the comments, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and see you guys soon.